Good day, my beautiful people. We're here once again on the struggle for the reformation of Ugborodo. And here with me today to talk about issues that have been going around the social media space about the transition of the leadership of Ugborodo community, the trust of Ugborodo community. Today I'll be interviewing the newly inaugurated trust chairman in the person of Mr. Oloru Tenumah. He will be throwing more light on these issues that have been raising so many talks on the social media space.
Congratulations, sir, on your appointment as the trust chairman of Ugborodo community. I would like to ask, what does the position as trust chairman of Ugborodo community mean to you, sir?
Thank you for having me on your program. And quickly, I want to say that it's a call to service. It's a call to service.
Sir, a management committee has been set up to challenge your appointment as trust chairman. What do you have to say about that, sir? What's your reaction towards that?
For me, that is an anathema. It is not the right thing to do. And I quickly want to say that no management committee was or is, as of today, constituted to challenge the composition of the trust as it is today. Because since there's a substantive trust, then there is no room for management committee. Management committee is more of a stopgap. In other words, it is like a child of necessity. When there is no trust, that is when you can have a management committee. Like we say, there is no vacuum in administration. But in this case, this is the first time that we have ever witnessed a trust leadership transiting to or transferring power to another leadership. So seamlessly. So we do not have need for a management committee.
Okay. Sir, some people claim your appointment didn't follow due process. Some people claim your appointment didn't follow due process, and that's the reason for the management committee. What do you have to say about that, sir?
I would rather want to use just a word for that, bunkum. Nonsense, outright nonsense. Maybe I should correct you first and foremost that I was never appointed and none of us were appointed. We were duly nominated and inaugurated by the elders of the 5 kindred communities that constitute Ugborodo community, including the registered trustees of Ugborodo Community Trust. So we couldn't have gotten a better approval to win us legitimacy, much more than that.
Okay, sir. Now, sir, let's dive into the issue of the MOU. There have been talks, there have been so many talks and accusations that you signed Ugborodo into the GMOU. What's your take on that, sir? People criticizing you that you signed Ugborodo into the GMOU.
I've had that severally. And for me, there are issues that I want to look at when people talk about the way they feel they want to talk. But the truth is that I think their allegation is largely a fallout of ignorance. If they truly knew, they would have been able to reason to the extent that I never signed with the committee into the GMOU. What actually happened is that a body was formed at the point where the GMOU concept was conceived by Chevron, and they went around all their operational communities getting people to subscribe to that GMOU. So everywhere they operate, they all subscribe to that GMOU, and eventually Ugborodo too subscribe to the GMOU. And it happened that of the 23 communities who came together, formed a body known as Isheki oil and gas producing / impacted communities 23. And so that body, I happen to be the secretary of that body. I was not the only person nominated to the body, but I was just the one choosing to be the secretary. And so if you see the documents, I never signed as representing Ugborodo community, but as representing Isheki oil and gas producing / impacted community.
Allegations that some of the people opposing your government right now are people who have been managing the resources of Ugborodo from 2006 even up to date, and there have been cases of them mismanaging the funds of Ugborodo. There have been cases of them not being able to meet up with projects that have been awarded to them. What's your take on that, sir?
The fact is that for a very long time, the community has been immersed in one form of crisis to another, and all of this crisis has always been the issue of the mismanagement of funds, and there are these elite class that are hell-bent in controlling the community, and by extension begin to feast on the patrimony, the commonwealth of the people. Like it is all over the world, it's always a very difficult task when you want to stand out against them, to not to continue the way they are used to. So that has been a very big problem in the place, and that is what we also intend to correct. With our coming in, we want to see that funds meant for development are properly allocated for any defined projects that the people so want to be executed.
Okay, sir. Sir, let's go into the environmental challenges Ugborodo as a community is facing even in 2025. The shores of Ugborodo are being washed into the Atlantic daily, and we hear huge sum of money always being mentioned that are being given out for projects. We hear big projects, huge amounts of money being given out for projects, and nothing is being done about the pitiable state of the shores of Ugborodo. What do you have to say about that, sir?
As far as I know, as of today, yes, I agree that Ugborodo community is in a very pitiable state from both right and left flank. When I say right and left flank, the left talked about from Chala, Madangu down to Gidigben, take that to be the left flank, and the right flank talking about where you have the Ugborodo from Aruton down to Costain. They have been washed away into the ocean. We really think that the best way to handle that would have been shore protection and reclamation. Let me mention too that no fund has been directly channeled towards that end from the GMOU, even though they have the ability, the powers to decide on which project they choose to spend the fund on. So far, none has been done from the GMOU angle. But I do know that precisely November 28th, I read that in the Vanguard newspaper, November 28th, 2022, there was a publication by NDDC outlining some projects that they successfully executed and completed and paid for. And so I saw some of the shore protection projects there too for Ugborodo. But the extent to which they have gone with that, I don't know. But I can tell you authoritatively that those projects are not on ground. Yes, they are not. They are not on ground. But I don't want to talk much on that. But it's such a pity sight that funds were released for a project to be executed, and those projects were not executed, and yet those people are still working freely. And that could be why they are fighting me, to thinking that I was coming in to probe them. No, I am not actually in for anybody's probe. I'm not going to look at all that. That we are going to face every other challenges frontally. It is not only the issue of environmental degradation, no. We also have issue of death of education. For instance, the only secondary school we have there is a shadow of what it used to be. And then look at the primary schools. Where are they all today? Okay, we used to have a Mauritius on the primary school of yes. Then Madam, we used to have a primary school. Ugborodo today, a primary school. Yes, again, Daibo, we have a Daibo primary school. But those schools are now just in name, but not fully in operation as we speak.
Okay. So, sir.
In other words, not as active as one would have expected.
Okay. Now, looking ahead, what are your immediate plans and priorities as trust chairman of Ugborodo? What are your immediate plans? What are your priorities as newly inaugurated trust chairman?
We are trying to look at it this way. First and foremost, we think we need to do everything within our powers to make sure that we unite the people. We need to bring them together. We must form a common front to build Ugborodo. So in uniting them together, we would have succeeded in entrenching peace. And then having peace, then we can then be talking of development. We're talking about not just development in terms of infrastructural development, which is good, but we're talking about sustainable development, building a legacy that our children and our children's children will see tomorrow.
So, sir, how do you intend to unite the various factions in Ugborodo and bring peace to your leadership structure?
First and foremost, like I said before now, we have already started extending the olive branch, asking everybody to calm down, have respect for constitutional authority and the rule of law, and not taking laws into their hands. And then for us, it's up to us to provide credible leadership. We'll be transparent, we carry everybody along, we'll make sure that no one is victimized on the basis of the path that they have chosen to do. So,
okay. So, sir, what's your message for the average Ugborodo youth, especially those that are caught between loyalty and frustration in the leadership struggle? What's your advice for them? What's your message to them?
The loyalty is a choice, and so frustration too is a choice. I just choose to look at the coinage, the two words you have used, loyalty and frustration. Both are choices, and so I think I'll ask them to. Nobody can control their mind, so they must be able to control their mindset and then turn away from those negative thoughts and begin to see the things on a brighter note, because the future is bright. So the whole essence of wanting to be loyal to somebody that is impoverishing you, I do not think that is the way to go. So we must emancipate ourselves, according to Bob Marley, from that mental slavery. Yes, from that mental slavery and those negative thought patterns.
Thank you, sir. Finally, what would you like the people of Ugborodo and indeed the wider Warri Kingdom to understand about your leadership and intentions?
We are coming in to change the narrative. We are coming in to change the narrative. Like I said before, this is the first time that a substantive trust was going out and thought it wise to hand over. And so we want to sustain this to make sure it continues this way as far as Ugborodo is existing. And we also need to build a legacy that people would always remember us for. I have said key to us is the issue of shore protection and reclamation. That is key. And in addition to doing other key projects, education is going to be, we are going to take on that frontally, and then we are not going to compromise the issue of the health of the people too. We are going to look at all of those ones. So we hope to build a legacy that the entire Ishekiri nation will be proud of.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and helping us clarify these very important issues. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So to our viewers, you heard it from the horse's mouth. I want you to stay tuned. I want you to stay informed. I want you to keep up on the struggle for the information of Ugborodo. So until I come your way again, it's your boy Wami Ejika Williams for Afternoon. Thank you very much.